and this could represent a roadway, soil, asphalt, cement. This represents any surface. This is pooling oil above the ground. It's the only time you're going to use what we call oil solutions powder. And this is probably doing something that you've never seen before. It's called microencapsulation. And what it does is it finds the oil, it encapsulates it, renders it non-toxic pretty much immediately. The great part about this product is you don't have to do anything. You just throw it down and it grabs all the oil. I'm sure you guys are familiar with oil pads and oil dry and absorbents where you got to kind of manipulate them and you're throwing them down and you keep throwing them down. This does everything for you. The big takeaway from this is this is the big lesson. You want to apply the product until you have white powder on top. So first, as I put it on, you can see it assumes the color of the fuel. And then as I keep pouring it, it starts to turn white, which means that it got all the oil, and now it's saying, okay, I did my job, I got all the oil, I'm done here. And cool features is one again is it works right away, and two is you can't waste it. This is where you really save on disposal. This is the first thing on disposal. The product only captures the oil and then stops working, and then you have virgin product here. So all this white powder that's sitting on top here is just virgin product that I'm going to just sweep off with a broom and just throw right back in the bag. So right there, you just cut your cost down about like 80% as far as disposal, because you guys know when you're using oil pads, oil dry absorbents, you're dumping and dumping. You end up wasting almost all your absorbents. And I love when people think it's cheap, like, oh, it's only $20 a bag for kitty litter. I'm like, yeah, but you're throwing away like you're throwing away like 7 out of 8 bags every time you use it. So this only uses exactly what it needs. Now, as far as the cleanup goes, this is already done. It's already got all the oil. This is completely dry. If it was raining or anything outside, there'd be no rainbow sheen coming off. This is nothing. This would be like if I ripped the bottom of your shoe off and there's just the rubber soles just floating in the water or on land. Clean up a broom, brush, rake, scraper, whatever equipment you have, and basically scrape that up. And within a couple of minutes, you get a dry, non-toxic piece of like a rubbery material. And there's nothing getting in my hands. My hands are completely dry. I mean, I could stick this in my pocket and then no oil will get in my pocket. This is basically dried out, rubbery, non-toxic material. We'll discard that. Again, all my good powder, we're going to save all that. You get all that back. Everything there goes back in the bag. And now this is the biggest part. So when we made the powder, we realized it wasn't going to be good enough because you guys can see on my table here, there's still an oil stain. And I can still smell it pretty good. So even though this is a non-porous surface, everything's porous and the oil's soaked in there. So for that, we made Oil Solutions liquid, step 1 and step 2. I'm not even looking at which is which. You can put the 1 on, then the 2 on. You can do the 2, then the 1. I like to do it at the same time because it's faster, easier, and you want to try to use equal portions. And when you do it at the same time, you can see it better. So sometimes I'll use industrial sprayers. Sometimes I'll pour it on. Sometimes I'll just have 2 guys pouring it and another guy with a broom kind of brushing it into the stain. And already the odor's completely gone. It works immediately. When I would do trade shows, sometimes just to really drive the point home, I would put some oil in my hand and then put the 1 and 2 in my hand and just rub it around and then let everybody, and the smell disappears literally in 2 seconds. So the powder, you put it on, you leave it for a little bit and you discard it. The liquid, you just put it down and leave. You don't do anything. So it's a liquid at first, then it turns to a gel. It lifts the stain out of anything you're working on, whether it's asphalt, cement, soil, rock, any type of surface. And that, in a few hours, will turn to a dry, non-toxic sand. It's been tested by just about all the big companies in the country. Everybody comes back with the same results. They go, works as marketed. Like you'll never be able to find the oil you were cleaning up. It's indefinitely encapsulated in the oil solutions. Last thing I'll show you, in the water here, I'm going to grab all my good powder and save it. We'll dump that on the ground. You get all that back. There's all my oil, and I can wring this out. A little bit of water comes off there, and that's what you're walking away with. Nothing there. If you test this, you'll never be able to find the diesel fuel that was in there. There's nothing you could do to release that. All the powder that's left, usually guys will use like some type of a net or a pool skimmer and just skim it out. You don't have to be too concerned with getting it all because it's completely non-toxic. So if you don't get it all, it'll just mix with the mud and the sides and just disappear and won't hurt anything. You could dump all this stuff all over your front lawn. You wouldn't hurt one blade of grass. You see I'm not wearing gloves. I've been using it for 20 years. I know it's in it. There's nothing dangerous in it. And you basically, for humans, vegetation, animals, there's no downside to using it. It won't hurt anything. All it does is find oil, encapsulates it, and and then makes it disappear. Any questions?
I do have one with the liquids.